Hey guys, this is Sean with Blackwells Bullpen, and today we have a special guest, Alain Camou. What's
So
up, dude? How's
yeah,
it going?
good. How about you?
I'm blessed to have another day. It's a Friday for us, so I have two games to coach this evening, and
Shit,
then t-ball in the morning with my son. So fun
busy.
times.
Yeah,
So you are a prospect with the San Diego Padres, and you actually just finished up instructs yesterday, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah. So how was instructs?
That's pretty good. It's working. Shit.
Yeah. How long is instructs now? Is it still like a month long?
Yeah, it was like a month long. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And
Season ended. We started right away.
any break at all, or straight into instructs?
Straight into interest, bro.
Fun. Straight
Right away.
spring training to extend it to rookie
Yeah,
ball, and you had a really good season in rookie ball this
yeah,
year. Yeah.
yeah.
What do you know your final stat line or no?
I finished hitting like 287.
287. Okay. Any bombs?
Nah, not this year.
No bombs yet. All right.
Not
All right.
this year.
So we're hitting the weights hard this off
Yeah,
season then.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. So I actually met you, man. You were probably seventh grade out at the Guadalupe tournaments. I saw you out there with
Yeah,
your, I don't
I was
know if
probably
it
like
was
I was like
blue,
what 14 probably.
yeah, blue hair, rainbow hair, whatever it was, field
Yeah,
ground balls. I was like, who's this kid with this clean glove work?
yeah,
And then Hegarty Jr.
yeah.
He,
I
you know,
remember.
he was trying to recruit you. We're gonna do a team, and then I almost coached at Alhambra,
Yeah, I
and
remember
that was your
that.
freshman year, right?
That was my freshman right there.
And then, so freshman year of high school, was it during the summer or the next year when you made the decision?
It was my sophomore year, like half my sophomore year, like a month
So
before season, like
okay,
two.
so then it would have been around like wintertime.
Yeah,
Okay, so you have a very unique um, journey to professional baseball. Not a lot of kids that grew up in the states chose to do so. So for guys that don't know, um, he went to the Dominican Republic and trained over there and signed. Were you 16 or 17 when you signed?
I committed at 16 and then signed at 17.
Okay, so kind of, I would love to go back and kind of go through the process of making that decision and what the thoughts were going through your heads and the conversations you were having with your family.
Well, at first it was crazy because like they didn't want to at first. Because when I went for the first time, I went on vacation with my sister and her husband, which he's from out there from the DR. And I went over there for like a couple of weeks, and I just started practicing out there. And I went, and I don't know, I just liked it. And then when I
Yeah.
came back and all that,
So
I,
what really, when you say you liked it, what drew you to it? Was it what was it?
I don't know, baseball over there is just different. Like over
Mm.
there, baseball is just all day from the morning to the
It
night. Like,
literally life.
yeah,
Your
it's just
your
baseball
life in
life over
baseball.
there. Yeah, over there, since you wake up, go to sleep,
So
you be
just
up early up
immediately
there.
your heart was drawn to how the kids were training over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it's
Okay, and
crazy.
then so then you come home and you tell mom and dad, hey, I want to go to
Yeah,
the
I was like,
DR
I
and
like
train.
it. Yep.
And what did they say at first?
Nah, first thing, they're like, you're crazy, bro. How you in this school and all that? But
Stick
it was
stick to
hard. It was
school.
hard.
Stick to
Yeah,
school. You're not
yeah, it
doing
was
that.
hard. Yeah.
And then so what did it take? Like a lot of conversations back and forth, or just you were like, hey, I
Yeah,
really want to do this.
yeah, I would like mention it to him almost every day.
Yeah.
So it was hard. It was hard at first. It was a hard decision.
And with your sister's husband being from the DR, you had connections over there.
Yeah.
Um,
So when I went over there, I was staying with his family
okay.
at
You,
first.
so you were staying with his family, not
Yeah,
at the at a training place.
no, for a couple, say what, 2 weeks I stayed with his family, and then I went to an academy.
Okay. And during this time, I can't imagine like the outside voices. Like, were there a lot of people supporting you in making that decision, or was a lot of people thought you were crazy?
There was a couple. I'll say like what, maybe 5 people that were supporting me. The rest, they're like, you're crazy, bro. You want to waste your time over there and all
Yeah,
that, 'Cause it's hard. It's different. Like everything was a different lifestyle. The food, like I had to get used to everything. Like the
yeah,
first month, it was probably the hardest for me. Being away from the family and all that. It was hard.
definitely. And my first experience was 18 with that when I signed. I can't imagine being 14, 15, 16. Like, hey, I'm going to another country and I'm not
Yeah.
going to see you for a while. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's got to be tough. And then you're
Being
around
away
new,
from everyone, from family and friends.
yeah, and around all new guys that you don't know. You're kind of the outsider.
Exactly. And then lifestyle
Um,
over there is different. It's not the
yeah,
same. It was
absolutely.
hard.
Well, I definitely commend you, dude. I think there's something that people could definitely learn from. Like, I mean, you put all the eggs in one basket. You went all in on it, and so far it's paid off.
Yes, sir.
100%. I mean, I think a lot of doubters probably didn't even think you'd be where you're at right now, and I think you're gonna keep
Exactly.
going. And I I think it's awesome, and I think a lot of people, whether you're in high school or college, just going all in on training, which is what you did by going to the DR. You didn't have to, all the distractions and other stuff. And in a sense, being in another country, you didn't have people to distract you. You didn't
Exactly.
have friends to go hang out with. So you got to train. And I remember the first time I saw you when you came back, it looked like you put on 50 pounds. I was like, dude's been hitting the weights.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, no days off, buddy. Literally every day, bro. Even
Yeah.
some Sundays we had to work out and all that.
So
It was
what's the
crazy.
typical day at a DR Academy look like?
So usually we will go run like we'll be up at 6:30, get ready and all that, and at 7 we'll go to like some mountains, like hills, and we'll have to run for an hour up and down sprints. That will help you like get stronger on your legs and all and get
Do
faster.
they make you so you sprint up? Do they let you walk down, jog down?
No, so first we would sprint, say 10, walking down, and then we have to do 10 down, 10 sprints down.
Mm,
Yeah, so it's
man.
hard. Shit. And then, it's just hard.
Yeah.
And then say we'll finish that, we'll be back like at 8, eat breakfast, and after that we'll go to the park. And at the park we would stretch, and then we would like throw. Then we had to run sprints to let the legs loose, because they're all heavy and shit. And then we would do defense, hit. So we'll be at the field from like 8 to 1. Be
Mm.
back like say 1:30. Shower, eat, go sleep at 4. We had to go to the park again, do extra hitting, and after that gym.
So a nap in the afternoon around
Like a
4, and then
like a
back to
2 hour
back to
nap,
go. Hey,
max
and
2 hours.
I know you need it. You need it with all that.
Shit.
Um, so what do you think what's the biggest thing you took from your time training in the DR before you went into pro ball? Like what helped you the most, you think, like mentally, physically, whatever?
I be mentally because you have to stay positive. Because there's gonna be days like you don't even want to do nothing. You have to because it's for your own good. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's hard. So
absolutely. Absolutely. So then come time, you're getting, because is it still 16 and a half when you can sign?
16, yeah, it's only
16.
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 16, when you're getting closer to that range, what does that look like in the DR? Because I honestly don't have any clue. I know that, the scouts come around and everything, but do they do like the kids that are eligible? Do you guys do games, showcases? Like
Yeah,
how's
like
that
we
work?
do showcases. Like they could go see you at your academy, like practice and all that training. But
Hmm.
they mostly get you like in showcases. They do a big, big showcase, like where all the scouts going on that, whole bunch of prospects that go.
And,
That's really
and
sick.
how nerve wracking was that?
Shit, I was nervous just seeing all those scouts like literally behind home plate. All of that was just scouts like from all teams, and seeing all those kids. Shit, it was odd. Because dude, at 15, 14, they're huge over there. And
Yeah,
when I first got there, I was like, I didn't know how
that's
I
what I was
was.
gonna ask you. What was the pitchers that you faced during your showcase in front of the scouts,
That's crazy,
what
bro.
was the stuff like?
15,
What was the velo?
15-year-olds throwing like 93, 95 already, bro. It's
Yeah.
crazy. You know, out here, it's rare to see that.
Yeah.
Here you see
And
that,
you might be able to
senior
go
year?
down to like Jupiter. I think it's going on right now in Florida. But even then, you have watered down teams in as well. Like you have your elite showcase scout teams at the big events, but there's a lot of watered down talent too. You're not going to see, everyone's arm be
Exactly,
90 plus at very few arms 90 plus at 16. But
exactly.
so then were you talking? Were multiple teams talking to you, and you chose the Padres over other teams, or the Padres were on you from the get go? How'd that work?
Well, to be honest, the first team that gave me the chance was Padres. But after I committed with them, my boss had told me that a couple of the other teams had offered me I think the Mets, Cleveland, I think the Marlins, I think in Arizona, I think they left it.
Okay.
They were interested.
And so you signed with the Padres, and then you spent first summer in the DR, correct? In
My
the
first
Dominican
season
Summer
in
League.
DR, yeah.
Okay. And now I haven't been an affiliated since 2012, so it's been a while. But my understanding Dominican Summer League is you see 95 plus every game, and not everyone always knows where it's
Yeah,
going.
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
it's kind of
I was
scary to
gonna
bat
say.
sometimes. Is that
Yeah,
right?
it's crazy because shit, it's hard. It's hard because sometimes you don't even know where the ball's gonna go. You know they throw hard. You just don't
Yeah.
know if they're gonna throw for a strike.
And that's a young guy that throw. I mean, they're young, so
Yeah,
no
it's crazy.
knock on
It's a what?
them. They're a
It's
lot of
a
them
it's a
are going to
16,
figure it out.
exactly.
Yeah,
But it's still 16,
16 throwing
17-year-olds
98.
throwing 90. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
How is that getting to the box? Like, do you just
I
try
was
not
I
to
was
think about it,
ah
or is it in the back of your mind?
at that time my mindset was just first pitch right there, swing at it. To be honest.
Okay, because the saying you don't hit your way off the island, or no, you don't walk your way off the island. My bad.
Yeah.
You hit your way off the island.
Exactly.
And if for you guys that don't understand what that means you don't advance, or you're not going to get signed if you're looking for walks. You get hits, and I try to teach that to the kids I coach now. Tonight I'm going to be coaching a 9 and a 10U team, and I'm like, we're not going to get better walking. You get a strike, swing it, because a lot of these
Exactly.
kids at that age, they're not throwing strikes. So
You
I
gotta be
don't
ready
want
for it.
you're not going to get any better if you walk 2 to 3 times in a game. Especially at that age, development's everything. So
Oh
yeah, swing early.
yeah. You just gotta be ready for it. You gotta be ready
Get your
for it.
hits in.
You gotta be aggressive.
Okay, so first off season, what? So I guess you're a little bit different than a lot of guys because you live in Phoenix. You're from Phoenix, so
Yeah.
you have the ability to go to the facility all off season, right?
Yeah, in off season. Yeah, once the season ended in the DR, I came straight here for instructs. Right here for instructs. So we did that for like a month, and then right after it was weight camp again. So I was either coming, I was staying home and going to a complex every day.
Yep. And were
I mean,
there any breaks? Did they give
maybe
you
like
like
a week,
a
maybe
week
like
for
a week.
Christmas maybe or Thanksgiving?
Just it was like 2 weeks for Christmas and another 2 weeks for New Year's.
Man,
That was about
wait.
it. But the whole year, it's just that.
It's truly a blessing because I mean you get a lot of guys go home in the off season and like to get the a level of coaching that you're getting in the off season they have to pay for it. And
Hmm.
you get it all the time, but you also
Yeah,
you don't get the breaks. If you're like I'm not feeling good today, I'm gonna go later. I'm gonna take it easy today. No,
that's what I'm
you
saying.
got to go to the Padres spring training complex and you got
I have to
eyes on
work
you
hard. You have to work hard, exactly.
and you're
Yes,
evaluated everything you do.
exactly. They're watching everything you do.
Take it, they have their weekly reports. They file everything from
Yeah,
trainers, strength coaches, hitting coach, infield coaches, and
yeah, everything. Even from the club, even everything.
that was the biggest thing that kind of. And I wish as a younger guy, I would have been able to block it out. But like even stretching, seeing the guys, especially when you have minor league coordinators, assistant minor league coordinators, pitching coordinators in town, and they're watching the way you stretch. And they're watching if, like you're almost scared to talk to the people around you because you know everything. They're judging everything you do, whether you're a hard worker, you're lazy,
Yeah.
And I do think that I could have just been myself. That's the one. If I could go back and give a young me advice, is be myself and let it be, and they're either gonna like you or they're not, because you can do
Exactly.
everything that you think they want to see you do, and they still might not like you.
That's true.
I learned that with scouts. Like, you might have your best game, this scout still has something bad to say about you,
That's true.
and vice versa. Like, you can go 0 for 4, and a scout writes a great report because he thinks the way you move, your swing, and he says, "Boy is going to be a superstar," off of 0 for 4. So you never know what you're going to get.
That's true. In baseball, you never know.
Yeah, because a good scout, a good coach, they can see past results, and that's where our society in youth baseball is so results driven. Did you win the game? Did you get a hit? And there's so much more to being a better baseball player, and it takes someone that has experience to realize that.
Yeah.
So rookie ball this year had a good, had a good showing. And are you playing? Where are you playing? Middle infield, third, a little bit of everything.
Boss play, yeah, mostly second and third.
Okay. And yeah, so good rookie ball season. Going into off season, what are you focusing on, to get better?
My body, I gotta get stronger.
Okay.
That's what I gotta be focusing on right now. Gotta get stronger.
Yeah, of course. And a lot. I mean, how old are you now?
19.
It's gonna come. It's gonna come as well. As you keep maturing, you grow into your big boy muscles. And man, it's crazy. So 2 years of pro ball under the belt, and you're 19. And so you turn 20 next year.
This year.
November. Okay. Oh no, November what?
First is already around the corner, bro.
Okay, I'm November 15th. So happy early birthday, dude.
Thank you. You too.
No, I'm not turning 20. I'm turning 33. I would love to be 20 again. Go back and
time flies.
Yeah, it does, dude. It does. I mean,
yesterday. I was in the DR.
Yeah, I feel like just yesterday I was reporting to Surprise to go out to rookie ball. Man,
crazy.
And don't take it for granted, dude. Like, it's a fun journey. You meet a lot of dudes. No matter what happens, I know, I still stay in contact with guys I played with and affiliated independent ball and baseball. It's a cool community.
It's nice. You meet people from all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, dude, I really think your story about just going all in, dude. Like, I'm so happy for you, and I really think like people can learn from putting all your eggs in one basket and having a dream, believing in it, no matter what anyone else says, dude. Like, it's really commendable, and I think a lot of people can learn from that. And if they just, even put half the effort that you did and belief into whatever they're doing in life, whether it's baseball, jobs, it'll pay out. Any advice for young kids?
I say, you gotta work hard, bro. Shit, I don't know. You gotta work hard. Nobody's off, really. You gotta be positive.
It's huge. It's a roller coaster, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you had days in DR that you probably thought you were wasting your time.
Exactly.
But you stayed positive and kept pushing through because there's sunshine at the end.
Because that first couple of trials, nothing. That first year is hard. You'll be practicing, working your ass off and everything, and then you do trials. And it was hard. At first, it was hard because they said I was too skinny. It's hard. You just gotta put out working.
You're skinny, so you're trying to put on the muscle. You are for you, you're getting used to the amount of training that you're doing over there, because the people over there, they've been doing that for a while, so their bodies are used to that level of training. And then another level of it is you're facing pitchers like you haven't seen before on a regular basis.
That's every day over there, 90 plus every day. That's normal.
Do you know who Jorge Alfaro is? The catcher?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he got signed with the Rangers, and he's from Colombia. His first spring training, he struggled so bad. Like, he was so frustrated. He really struggled hitting. And then I remember hearing one of the hitting coaches like he was facing 75, 78. Like, that was someone throwing hard, back home for him. So he comes to spring training, he's seeing 90 plus. He's seeing guys that are polished out of college, good curveballs, dudes throwing 98. And like, it took him a year adjustment period. And then his second spring training, he came in like 20 pounds of muscle. Like, dude looked like
prepared, huh?
He looked like Pudge behind the plate, just raking. I remember Oliver Perez. You know who that is? The lefty pitcher?
Mexican.
Yeah. He got Alfaro. He pitched on the minor league side of spring training. He got him 0-2, and then he tried to do like this, like he did he kicked his leg back, held it, like put his back to Alfaro, and then patiently threw a sidearm fastball. Alfaro went dead center, and Alfaro, he's like he's like 17, 18, and Oliver Perez, which I really looked up to him like when I was younger, because he was on the Mets, and he was a star with the Mets. And he watched Alfaro run out of the bases, and he was like, okay, like, good for you, he wasn't mad at all. He's like, dang, this dude, and he did the little extra funkiness and then dropped down, and Alfaro, like it, and you could see it, even though he was struggling, like his at bats were good. It took him a time, like when you aren't facing that level of pitching or that level of velocity, like it takes time to adjust.
It's hard. Well, when I first got to the DR, I couldn't hit for none. That's under off speed too. It's just it's different baseball out there.
And it's really hard. I mean, baseball being a game of failures, like you have to keep pushing through, and you have to have a level of belief in yourself, because there's times when you're going to struggle, and if you don't have that inner confidence, like, it'll eat you up, and you'll it's hard to recover if you let it eat you up.
That's true.
Yeah.
The good thing, I always had my boss from the academy too. He always cheer me up,
Yeah.
It's always good to have someone by your side.
Oh, dude, absolutely. It's when you're going through a negative time, you can't have negative voices around you.
Always gotta have someone like that.
Yeah, that's cool. So that you felt like you had someone you could go to during the good and bad times, keep you level headed. What about your brother-in-law? Were you communicating with him a lot while you were over there?
Yeah. Everything, almost every day. I'll talk to my family and my friends every day. They always call, see how we're doing.
Yeah, I know. Pops is proud of you.
No, Pops.
Yeah.
He's always
so were you in DR during COVID?
Yeah, I think that was my first year.
Oh wow! How is that, being in Dominican Republic while COVID's going on? Your family's over here.
That first year, it was hard because no one was signing that year because of COVID. All the facilities were closed out in the DR. You couldn't do trials or none of that. Everything was closed because of COVID.
And guys were cutting people, because no one was playing. So all the affiliated teams, they were cutting people. They weren't signing anyone.
That year, I remember that. It sucked. That year, was hard.
So were you? Because you're over there, and I don't know what is. You're in another country. I don't know what it's like. Like, were you worried of into the rural type stuff? Like, what are you hearing over there? Your family's in the States. Like, what was going on in your mind there?
Yeah. I don't know. It was hard. It was crazy because I was out in the DR, and then I just see my friends. When they post stuff, going out, when they graduated, that was hard too,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's all a sacrifice, but it was worth it,
Absolutely, definitely paid off. So, anything else for us? Any advice for the little guys, little baseball players coming up, looking up to you?
To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, just
It's hard. Yeah,
work hard, and you got to, I really think it was key what you said about the mentally, about staying positive and
that.
believing in yourself.
Yeah, you just gotta
And,
stay positive. To be honest, because baseball's hard, bro. There's gonna be
and that's something
ups
like,
and
in a
downs.
sense, like I feel like that's like your superpower. Like you believed in yourself when more than anyone else. And in baseball, you have to have that. And I mean, and honestly, like my advice to you from someone that played, like keep that belief in yourself, because the minor leagues can be tough. You go through rough stretches,
Yeah,
as you climb the ranks, or you're doing good and you're not getting called up. Like I've seen that too, where guys they're getting frustrated because other people are getting called up and they think they should be moving up,
yeah,
and
that's true.
just keep working on yourself and keep grinding. So if people want to follow you, what's the best way to follow you and stay in touch?
I say Instagram.
Okay, what's the
Yeah,
Instagram handle?
boy Camu _22.
Underscore. Okay, yeah, dude. Guys, follow along. I mean, I think you have a bright future ahead of you. I'm excited to see what everything holds for you. And one last thing, who's your pick to win the World Series? I know your team's not in it, so now I feel like you could
Mm,
say another team because you're not going against your team.
I think I think Braves. I think Braves are gonna
Braves.
win. They got a good squad.
I think it's a good pick. It's a good pick. I think we could see another Houston Atlanta World Series.
People think it's easy. But for
No, it's
the
not, dude.
Latino for the Latino guys, it's hard. Like you
It
said right
is.
now, for me, I'll stay home here. If like need anything, I'll come home, eat or whatever. For Latino
Yeah.
guys, it's hard because they have to save their money for their families. Out there it's different. Like, which is hard. They have to learn how to cook, to wash, to keep up for themselves. This is hard. Growing
Yeah.
up, growing up, it gets even harder.
Yeah. So I mean, so you speak Spanish and English. You grew up in the
Exactly. For
States,
them,
and
for the
and
Latinos,
then you got to
they
go.
have to learn it.
You got to go to the DR. So you spent a lot of time, because even like baseball can get kind of cliquish, right? Like sometimes you'll have the Americans, the Latins, and then even sometimes in the Latins you'll have like they'll click off into where they're from as well.
Mhm.
Sometimes you'll have the Dominicans, the Venezuelans, kind of course everyone, like you're all on the same team, you're all teammates, right? But like you'll have your little clique that you hang out with, and so
Exactly.
you is kind of neat where you're American, you speak great English, so you can hang out with the American, and then you speak Spanish, so you're kind of like you can hang out with both groups,
Yeah.
and then you spend the time in the DR, so you're really close with a lot of guys from the Dominican, I would
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
imagine. And so now when you come over to the States and then they come over, um, I would only imagine. I mean, you kind of go and tell me, but I would imagine you're kind of able to help them and teach them.
I was gonna mention that. Like when they first got here, I was doing everything with them. Like anywhere they go, I'll go with them. Cause to order food, to Chipotle. I remember like the first 2 months, it was everyday Chipotle. Cause that's how they eat rice and all that.
Yep.
I
Rice,
would go,
chicken, and
yeah,
beans.
yep. I would go every day with them so they could order food and all that. Help them. I will help them out with anything they needed.
Yeah. And I mean, so kind of tell me about that, because you have a different insight, being closer to a lot of the Dominican players and maybe some other guys, like some of the struggles that they deal with. What like obviously they're able to vent to you, and you see it firsthand as well. Like, what are some of those struggles coming to a whole new country, not speaking the language, or maybe not speaking it as well? Because I know a lot of, like, with the Rangers, we had they had English class that they had to go to in rookie ball and extended, where it would help them learn English, and they help them out with a lot of things. But like, what are some of the struggles that they deal with that they've opened up to you about?
I say I'll say eating because sometimes they wouldn't even eat because they would be embarrassed to go out to ask for to order, or like to go, just even go shopping. It's it's hard,
I can imagine how hard it is because you get nervous when you're talking to new people and you're out in public.
Yeah.
I know I was really close with Profar when he
Sure,
was
sure.
with the Rangers. We were in extended and we went to In-N-Out Burger. Now Profar, he's from Curacao. They speak
He's like,
Papiamento.
he speaks like 3 languages, right?
Yeah, it's English, French, and Spanish all mixed together. So he could read in English, he could read in French, he could. And we went up to the counter. He's like, "Blackwell, you order for me. This is what I want." I'm like, "Poppy, no, you order. Like you got to get out of your comfort zone. Like
That's what I would tell him too.
I was like, dude, I know you can because you talk to me.
That's what I'm saying. Like my roommate Ross, Andrew Ross. I don't know if you know who he is.
No, I don't.
Cuban.
Okay.
He was like one of the top prospects in Spanish. He learned English with me speaking every day in the room. Like we just talk shit to each other, mess
Yeah.
around, and he got better. And we used to go out to eat, and I'll have him order on purpose so that way he could, start learning.
Yeah, I mean,
To
it's
this
getting out of that.
to this day, he goes out and he got better.
Yeah, and the transportation's huge too. Because if you're in the States, some guys will ship their cars to wherever they go. I drove everywhere, and when I was staying in Surprise at the Holiday Inn out there, I had my big truck, and I was always really cool with a lot of the Latin guys, and I would try to help them out with rides the most I can because I had a truck, so we could pile in, and then they pile in the back of the truck, and they call me, "Hey, what time do we go to Chipotle?" So we'd load up, and it would be, man, it would have to be like 10 to 12 of us at least. Back then, it was free extra rice, extra beans. So they would fill the bowl up with rice, get beans on top, chicken, and if they wanted anything else, the bowl would be so full that they'd put it on the side. And the manager, he's like, "Hey, I love that you bring so many guys in, but they crush our rice. So will you call me ahead of time and let me know, give me like 10, 15 minutes so I can get more rice going because you guys kill my rice." I was like, "Okay, cool."
Bro, it's
So
crazy.
I had the manager's number at Chipotle because we went there that often. He'd actually give me a free meal like every other week or something like that. Just he's like, I love
You
the
hook it up,
business. He's like,
yeah.
I love you bringing all the guys in, but man, we got a rice and I got to tell the customers after you guys to wait. So, and then I take them over to cash their checks, and then we go over to the bank, and we go to Western Union. A lot of the guys were sending money back home,
Yeah.
which, dude, I mean, it was highway robbery back then. I know there was just a lawsuit. They upped your guys' pay a little bit. But back then, dude, they were charging us $20 a day each for the hotel room that we had to stay in. So that's $600 a month. And then our checks back then were maybe $1,200 a month, and then they're taking $600 out for the hotel. And so now you're getting a check of $200 to $300 every other week. And then they want to preach to you about eating healthy and buying good food when you go to the grocery store. It's like, how do you want me to do that? And I know there's been a big movement, and they've upped the pay. And I know the second year they cut the hotel in half, where it was $10, and now I've heard the Rangers, they have they call it like Ranger Village or something, where they have free housing for the guys out there.
Yeah, I think they have their own like apartment or something.
Yeah,
but
back then it wasn't.
For us, the team pays our hotels around there.
Nice,
which is good.
Yeah.
Which,
which now it's actually mandatory, right? Like everywhere you go, it's free.
Yeah.
They have to provide housing. That's nice.
New law, I think it's kind of.
Yeah, I wish that was the case back. Because even then, I remember getting called up to Loway. I got a phone call at 10 o'clock at night that I was going to Hickory in the morning to be at the complex at like 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, there's something going on. We don't know if you're like going there for good, if you're filling in for a couple of days. We don't know. So I get there and they said, hey, you have a hotel room, first 2 nights, find someone to stay with after that. And so thankfully we had Luke Jackson, Faulkner and someone else had a. And they said, "Hey, if you want to sleep in our living room, you can." So they took me to Walmart. I got a blow up mattress, some sheets and a blanket for the blow up, and
That's crazy,
I was
bro.
in the living room while I was in Hickory, and it was cool. It was a great group of guys. They all had cars, so as far as getting food and getting around, it was cool. But yeah, they told me I had a hotel for 2 days and then find someone to stay with. I was like, dang,
That's crazy now. What?
yeah. And then can you imagine now you're in another country and they do something like that to you? Like,
Nah.
you know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah.
not from, at least I'm from here. Like I understand how everything works. But if I was in let's say I was playing in Japan and they told me that, like,
You'll
heck
be
no,
outlaws.
I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be like,
That's
no.
crazy.
So I definitely always, I always try to help out the Latin players that were over here with rides, getting food, and getting their checks cashed because I couldn't imagine being in that situation.
No, yeah, it sucks.
And then they're sending money back home, and they're trying to live off of even less of a check than I am.
Yeah.
Like, I saw guys send in half their check back home at least.
When you want to do some live EPs, I'll get some shots off you, bro.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. The old man will get you again.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know.
Yeah,
I gotta say
absolutely. Hey, honestly, let me know when you are available or when you want to do it because I know you do the stuff at the facility, so I don't know how your schedule works out, but I'm
You let
always
me know. You let me know. Hey,
I'm
for y'all
always
that don't know, in the Thanksgiving tournament, Sean K me bad, bro. Tell him, Sean.
hey, I'm not gonna lie. I was slightly worried. So everyone that doesn't know that's not from Arizona, Thanksgiving is the biggest tournament. It is, I mean, Friday, Saturday, you have a couple hundred people in this tiny little field, boom boxes going. My buddy that I had invited out, he did it for the first time, and he said it is the closest thing to winter ball in the States. And it sums it up great. Like the atmosphere, it's electric.
It's crazy. There's fans on the fields and everything, bro.
Yeah, they keep having to stop the game and move guys back. And yeah, we played your team, and of course, like I was coaching your age group, so you had all your buddies. They're like, "Boy's gonna get you, boy's gonna get you," and I was like, "Dang, I can't let them get me. I'm never gonna hear it now. I'm never gonna hear the last of it." And I was working with some of the guys at the time too, like Leo and Chapo, and I was like, "Nah." I was like, he can't, and the field's tiny too. Like pop ups, get out of there.
So
I was like, all he has to do is pop one up,
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, but it was fun, and we'll see what happens in the Thanksgiving tournament this year.
This year, I gotta say for you.
Who knows? Maybe we'll be on the same team.
Shit. Hopefully.
Who knows?
Hopefully.
Thank you so much, dude.
Got it. Thank you, bro.
All right, later.